Shir sponsor Louis Nishma Sam Yaakov Shalom Leah Basitzchok. We're holding in Metzia Dav Chav Zayin. We're holding in the Mishnah, right? Beginning of the Mishnah, in the top of the Omud Chav Zayin Amudah. So the Mishnah. Ava Samlo or Simlo Hoyso Bichlal Kalelu. The Simla clothing was part of these. I wasn't explain what does it mean these. We speak about a list of things. Simla was one of them. The Lama Yotzos. Why was that standalone? Simla clothing has simonim. It's different. There's something unique for every simla. And there is owners that are asking for it. Saying that simonim, and there is an owner who's asking for it, you have to announce it. Rashi says, coming to exclude if you have no simonim, or if you know that the person was miyash, so you know that there's no, he's not no toiving, there's no demand. It says the Gemara, "My bichlal kol." What does it mean bichlal kol? Was among these things. What does it mean? It says in the pasuk, so it says of that. So why have to speak about a simla? Says the Gemara, so the Gemara goes and says that's what the Mishnah is saying. Simla is part of all Aveda. So why am I mentioning Simla on its own? To tell you there has a Simla. Now the Gemara is going to dash other things over there. Because there's two psukim. Which mentioned a donkey. And then it says the next pasuk, so there's another pasuk that's the pasuk before. And there you speak about a shor and about a say. So the one is asking, why do you have to mention all this entire list? An ox, a sheep, a donkey, and a sam. So what's he goes like one samlo, simlo, avamino, would say the word, hanimil beidim, the gufa, the simon, the gufa. That's good when you have eidim or simonim of the goof itself. The simla is the simonim on the actual beggar. Aval chamor beidim duukov, the simon duukov, emeloi madrinon. But the chamor doesn't. How do you know to recognize the chamor? Well, it says because you recognize the saddle, so you now recognize the actual goof. So they may want maybe loy madrinon lay, maybe I give it back. So chamor, the filu chamor b'siminei ukov. So chamor also you go based on simonim, and simonim of the saddle. Shor b'seh that goes like one alamali. Why have shor b'seh? Shor that filu b'gizas novoi. Meaning even if it's the giza of this novoi, what does it mean that you have some wool in the end of the tail? That also has to give back. Says Rashi. And says to tell you all the wool of the animal. If I tell you a shark that has only very little wool in the tail, so Kosh can say there's a lot of wool, we give it back. We learned in Bava Kama. We said that according to Rabbi Yudo, that he holds in this Kelim is Chayav, so we have to say Chamor, according to Rabbanon Chamor v'lo Kelim. If you have a donkey falling into the bar, and if you have Kelim falling into the bar, you pot. So that's what Chamor is coming to exclude. But, so that's, we don't know what he needed for. But if you hold Chamor, and also Kelim, so I have to say Chamor. And said Davedo, in the word said Davedo, that we're learning right now. Why did it say Sevavedo? Kashu. We don't know why we need these words. Maybe it's going to tell you Gulolim that even the feces is his. Feces is mafkir. So that's why it can't be it. So the more Dilmo is Simonim, who also. Maybe it's going to tell you that Simonim work. That's why you have the extra words when you speak about Seh. Does Simonim work? Just because the extra word. The Bailon, Simonim Derai, so they are bonon. The Simonim Derai, so they are bonon. Because Rachmano said that with Simonim Adrinan, with Simonim Derai, so we'll see in a moment. Is a Simonim telling Derai, so they are bonon. So if a Simonim is I want to bring a ride, then we Derai, so give it like a Simonim. When we spoke about a samlo, but simlo, but a beggar we say there, ma simlo simanim. Time I still mechajir simanim v'yesh atoyvim chav lachis. Kolosh yesh simanim yesh atoyvim chav lachis. Shramini to say love the simon dos. So one is answering. One not telling us why. One is saying that you see from the time of the Mishnah, the fact that he said that simonim is we're talking about simonim of a samlo, that tells you that the simonim will live with similar. I don't need to say it tell you simonim. That itself tells you that. Right, if you look at Shirashi, I'm with no katanim asis the milf simonim misamlo be'adi toivim. Pshitale the sel milsa chisos. Clearly, give us something else. We don't know what it is. We don't know. We're stumbling. I don't know what seh means. What it's going to teach you. That's what he asked. Why not simonim? The time already knows simonim by simul. So over here, simonim is not necessary. Okay, so the Gemara stays with that question. The l'chura, what do you need simul? What do you need seh for? So Gemara talking about Rashi Tovad Prat leAveido Shem Moshe Bruto, because it says Tovad Nimenu talk about something that has a value. We read the Matzoso Prat leAveido Shem Moshe Bruto. Look from Metzia. It says you Matzoso if I find something that has a value and it's not coming to tell you talking to Moshe Bruto. It says the Gemara, oh my benam. What's the chiluk if you say if you lost Shor Bruto or you found the Shor Bruto? It's a mashmos dosh. Where do you learn from? In other words, according to this, it's not really a machlokes bad. Sounds a machlokes is just where is the right place to learn from. So the more man nafkle masher toivad hay matzoso may have. What do you do with the word matzoso? Are you buying like that? Avnoi, Homer Avnoi, matzoso le'asoi le'adei mashma. So that means he came to his hands. What is a chiddush? We'll learn about Makamo. That he came to his hands. You can't lachzi if he's a Jew. But if he's a goy, you don't have to get it back. Even if it came to his hands, even if he picked it up, he's still bought. Well, the man that I've got matzoso, I shirt to with my ability. One is matzoso. He's going to do a shirt to him. How do I know Aveda was swiped away with the river? He'll take it. Shinema kedasech that's sachicho shel toivad mimenu umatzoso. So toivad mimenu mishabudo imenu mitzuyot sekolado. It's only lost from him. But everybody else has it. Yotzazu shabudo imenu ve'im mitzuyot sekolado. And that's the way the Bava learns that it's exeris sekoso. If it's lost from him and from other people, so then the din is that he does not have a din of aveda. You don't have to give it back. How does he learn Avnoi? Not the matzoso, mi vematzoso. Right? And according to the Mandama that learns, that he says, you learn from that, it has to be Sharpruto. So you learn to matzoso, the matzoso needs to be something that you found, it's called a Metzia. Right? It's Metzia and it's Matzo. Rashi says, matzoso, the Vav is Yisayim. Okay. V'hidoch had Rabbi Yochanan naftal yimenu. The other one, has the Rabbi Yochanan that said, sorry, the first one that said matzoso, sorry, that you learn from there for a goy. That you say the matzoso, the mashma, you learn from umatzoso, the book. V'hidoch learns that we're talking about. That he learns from matzoso, that has to be shor bruto. How does he know? Rabbi Yochanan that says that's it's a kol adam. You know, it's avuda mimenu and not mikol adam. He does mimenu lo yimashvalei. No one says mimenu. It is not mashval. That's so the whole cycle ends. So the first one that holds is no machlekes. Everybody agrees that what? Everybody agrees that you have over here that it has to be shor bruto. Question is where you learn from. No machlekes. Mashmos doshik now. What is the ikar source? Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara. A Rav Amar pruta shoes lo yikavidayu. The chiluk is if you have a aveda that became cheaper. It was shava pruta, but that's worth less. Why? Because it says shetoivad, it needs to be lost. Shava pruta. I don't care when it's found. Shava pruta. As long as one was lost, shor pruto. Because we have to once you find that shor pruto. Yeah, but why send him day to the matzah? So it's an interesting question to the Gemara, because the Gemara could say, yeah, I have even drasha. What does the Pashup Shab matzah means? It has to be worth the same like when you found it. Says the Gemara, it was worth a pruta, and it became more expensive. It was worth less than a pruta, and it became a pruta once he found it. So the Gemara, because you have a pruta, because when it was lost, it was not a pruta. So and again, the question is, the Gemara you're saying because according to Rava, they both have the drasha, or because it's just a mashmos in the pasuk. It was worth a pruta, and went down in value, and then went back in pruta. Therefore, what? Why? When it was lost, it was worth a pruta. As we were the pruta for the entire time. Meaning what? The Rava holds that they both darshanim. The question is, what does he emphasize? According to first one, the Shet Toiva needs to be worth a pruta then. That's it. That's all I care about. The other one dashes both. The Shet Toiva and the Matzah needs to be worth pruta in the beginning and an end throughout the entire process. And if it was worth less than a pruta, so then you don't have to give it back.
The entire process once someone has it. I mean, it could have been done 3-4 weeks.
The process for the time that was lost until the time that was found. Right? The whole thing. Says the Gemara now. Ibai luhu simonim derais or derabon. Is simonim derais or derabon? Meaning what? The fact that Torah says you have to give back an avedo, and we say, Allah is that you rely on simonim. Is simonim din derais or din derabon? Even derais does simonim work? Through simonim I can recognize something and give it back to you. Or midorais simonim don't work. It's only din derabon and simonim work. We're going to explain later in the Amud. In the daf, why should simonim work? But simonim are maybe doraisa don't work. According to that, how you can be able to bring back an avedos? I'm going to say in a moment, because of eidim. Like you have eidim. So what might have kamino? What's up kamino? So go to Chazai on base. La due get isha b'simonim. Can you give a get back a simonim? May I give it back because you can rely on also to get. You do it only by Mominabi Yisor. Say what Toshma. Have a simlo Yisor Bichlal Kolei. We're learning our Mishnah. Simlo is among everything else. Filamayot says like Yishav and Lemon Lachoma. Simlo Yuchesh, Simonim Yesh Latevim, Chayav Lachris. Kolo Jiri was Simonim Yesh Latevim, Chayav Lachris. So you say that a simlo is simonim and you have to be mafres. Tano something about toivim eats strictly. Really, it's going to just come and tell you toivim that there is a demand. Simonim kedei nasbe. Not that you learn from the pasuk simonim. The fact that the Mishnah says, "Oh look, the pasuk it says you have simonim," that doesn't mean it's a derais. Simon toshma chamoy b'simonim ukov. We bring a donkey with a simon of the saddle. So you see where the simonim works. Not simonim ukov, but eidim ukov, testimony ukov. Until your brother asks for it. You give it back to him without even asking for it. How are you going to give it back to him? Pashup Shad means you're not going to know what it is. Go check if he's a rabbi or not. My love is simonim. That's from simonim. Says more loy be'edim. You dash them with edim now with simonim, and in the Chanami, if you have simonim only, won't be the raisa. And that was the mocker that we learned in Shabbos. The pre-Yitzchak says that the mechachi we give it back to him based on tviyus eino, based on recognition, because that's the way you check. He's not a rabbi. This we learned in Masechah Zivonis. You testify the face and the nose. Even though the simonim in his body and his vessels, you still do it based on the recognition. So you can't testify that person died and they recognize the body based on simonim. Why not? Simonim is the right. Ami Gufa the Oirich V'Gutz. Guf, we talk about now that you recognize the Guf. Talk about that he is either tall or short. You can't rely on that because there are many tall people, many short people. Kalov the Chashil and Shayla. Even if you find something that belongs to him, maybe he lent it. Something more, Chashil and Shayla. If you choishes, maybe someone lend the kli. If so, Chabor v'Simei Yukov Echem Adrian. So how do you give back a donkey with a saddle? Maybe they lend the saddle. Ami Yukov lo shuli inchi. People don't lend the saddle. Why? It hurts the donkey. If you have the wrong size, the wrong saddle, it hurts the donkey's body. We're talking about Kalim, it's not that they recognize it's clean, but white and red. They give a color. Again, a color, many people have the same thing. He found it, the get, connected to the wallet, there's a wallet, or a ring. When he's being Kalim, if he's Mami Ruba, kosher, it's kosher. He's like a Chashin Shayla, because maybe he lend it. Kim also kosher, because semi kosher, when it's connected to the wall as a kosher. Neglu Shayla, maybe he borrowed the wallet. Maybe he borrowed all these keys, the keys, the iron key, and the tabas. So no, he didn't borrow it. Why not? People don't lend their wallet and the ring. It's a bad simon. It's a bad omen if you do it. You first speak about this idea of bad omens that in Tesh already asked over here, we're not allowed to be, you're not allowed to not supposed to be choishish for a bad sign. Well, no, but here without talking just a regular bad. The Tesh says that it's anything which is refuah is okay. There's refuah maybe. There is we'll discuss over here why you're relying on simon. Says the Gemara, the tabas, why not? Tabas, what do you use a tabas for? To stamp a singering. So you don't want to use, so people are not going to lend their tabas. Saying, well, if Shimoin derives the Rabbanan, you're not allowed to testify on a mole. The person's mole. You do testify it. So you can't rely on a mole. So you can rely on it. Anybody who says it's the rice, it's a good simon. The question is this small, this type of a blemish, not blemish, sign that a person has, do you say that anybody the same age, the same mazel will have it too as well? It's common that whoever is in the same mazel has. It's not common to have the same thing, so it's a good simon. It's not common anywhere, a place else, it's a good simon. The says, do I assume that the simonim changed after death? So they saw something, maybe it was different than it was when he was alive. Question is, can you testify on it when he's already dead? They're not coming to change. So why there's one done where you can rely on it? This is a big rule regarding simonim. Even if you hold simonim or derabanan, that's only regular simonim, which are things that people can maybe have the same, not a good rhyme. Simon muvak is like only very unique. Everybody agrees that's much like someone first explains, like an edus. So the Sir Muvak Shuma Sir Muvaku, it's a Bama Sir Muvak, and it works even what? Even if you hold Simonim Derabanan. You hold in the rice. So Shuma Simon Muvak is not Sir Muvak, and therefore you can't rely on it. So the Gemara brought a whole discussion regarding Shuma, regarding a mole. How do I treat it or not? Okay. So the Gemara loving to Simonim love their rice. So if you hold this one is not their rice, so hey, Adrian does with Simonim. How do you give it back to Simonim? How can Rabbanan come and say you give back a Simonim? Maybe it's not his. Right? A person is the one who finds it, wants to give it back to the owner with Simonim, so when he loses something, he'll give it back to the Simonim. So the Gemara, What do you mean? The one who found it, it's not his money. So he's saying, you know what? I'll give it back some money. So then when I lose something, I'll get it back. That's not your money to make favors with it. How can you use your money to make favors with somebody else? The Bava says, "Can't take simoni." In other words, the owner, the truthful owner of this kli, says anybody gives simoni should be able to take it. Why? Why is he happy after that? It's very hard to find edim. Nobody else knows my good simoni. Now I'll read the simoni you take. In other words, what is going saying? The Metzia says, I'm willing to give up my right. What's my right? Don't give it back to anybody unless you have AD or Simon Muvak. I want to give it up, then give it to Simoni. Meaning why? I assume nobody's got my Simoni. And if they do, they do it. I want to be able to take it out from the finder with the Simon Muvak. Something where I learned this earlier. Someone who bought for 3 people, you give it back to the borrower. If you have 3 shtaris that all stayed in the same borrower and they're found together, you give it to the borrower. If you have 3 shtaris together and it says in the same lender, you give it to the lender. Why? You want to tell me that's what you want to do based on your idea of simanim? The pshat is that the owner is willing to give up his right. The loiva doesn't never want to give it to a malva. He doesn't want to take it. Don't give it back. The reason there is not because of simon, it's because of svar. If you have 3 shtaris that the borrower is written in it, and they found together, probably the borrower is the one that held on to it. So it's shchiach to have all 3 by the loiva, not by the malva. Where with the malva, all 3 shtaris are 3 different lenders. Shvami or loiva novel, you assume it fell from the borrower. But if 3 will borrow from one lender, give it back to the lender. It's more common to be a malvi. He's one lender, 3 stars. Instead of being the bar is holding stars of 3 different bars. That's the reason, not because of simanim, but because of what? Because of the where it's common to be. Says the Gemara in the Kafkas what's a tachish shtaris, a gudush shtaris, finds a bundle of shtaris, a gudush shtaris, harezi azir, they should give it back. Hachinami, the nichale loive la dur la malve. You want to tell me the loive is happy to give it to the malve? In that case, Mashal there is simoni b'vat. So, why? If you're saying it has to do with nichale, then nichale to the borrower. Says the Gemara, ela marova. Simoni deraisa, you're right, simoni is deraisa. How do you see the rice of the chtiv? He should be by you until Achicha demands it. Chitala, that is another code should dashenu. She give it to him without its own dashing. El dasheyu imur mayim unoramas. What's it before? Find out if he's lying with that. Lav besimonim. He said, yeah, it means for not eating. It means actual simonim. You should have simonim. They will tell you what it is. Shramino. So that's the raya that Simon the rice. The more, and then the day concludes based on the fact that the Gemara said that by a borrower you give it back to the lender. There's nothing to do with nichale. It's a din der rice that Simon works, and that's the maskana over here right now. That Simon der rice, because Simon der rice, that's why you give it back, even if the borrower is not interested, the lender is not interested. Even by a get tisha should be according to that Simon der rice. So I go and rely on that the simonim are deraisa that can go and use simonim as indication, as a raya, as an edus that belongs to the guy who found it. Maybe tomorrow we'll go a little bit more into some of the details of simonim deraisa terbanon, but this is good enough for today. Call to Rabbi Say.